If you're actually the iron teeth, that is the only way that you can get water up onto higher areas without using the mechanical water pumps, which are very expensive for a power grid. Welcome back everybody to Taurus 001's channel, and this is Timberborn. This is 10 things you probably didn't know you could do. Now, some of you who are veterans at this game probably did know most of this stuff, but this is basically for the beginners who are just starting out in the game, and these are things that they might not have known that they could actually do in the game. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, the first thing that I want to talk to you about is this. This is probably not so obvious to some people, pretty obvious to other people. You can actually adjust the working hours for your beavers. So you can give them a longer work day, a shorter work day. They will have better happiness if you give them a shorter work day, and obviously they will have more productivity if you give them a longer work day. But you've got to basically find a measure between the two, and that is tip number 1. So, have you ever seen this screen before? Lots of you have probably never seen this screen before. The truth is, it's right here, up in between your science and your resources. You click on this and you've got the population tab, the housing tab, the workplaces tab, the storage tab, power tab, well-being tab, and it will fill in with different types of information that you can look at. And if you want to learn something about a beaver, all you have to do is come in here, and it's a nice little convenient list to let you know where you're lacking, who's housed, all their workplaces and things like that. And you can tell them to either stop or continue at a workplace in here, and there's lots of very useful features in this menu. But that is tip number 2. Tip number 3 is right here. These are the power wheels. You can actually stack these together and it will output power from one wheel into the next, and then you can just connect it at one end and it will output the entirety of power onto that stream. So you can have, well, we've got 910 horsepower on this thing here, and also you can connect multiple power wheels into the same power system. So you put in one of these and you connect up power wheels, and you put in a 3-way cog system, and that will produce a nice little power output, and it will provide power to whatever you need. Over here, this is my factory as to where all the power is going, and it just keeps everything running constantly. But as you can see, I've got the windmills. They can be connected together, and they will both output power onto the same power stream. All these things have to do is be connected together, and that will provide power to the entire system at once. Tip number 4 is these mechanical water pumps and water dumps. Now, with mechanical water pumps, you can obviously pump water up one side and output on the other. A water dump will require you to have a beaver that will dump water into a section for you. But did you know that you can put a little channel like this and a water dump on the side of one of these, and the beaver will fill that water up, and it will keep the water in there, won't overflow. The water will flow into there, and it can produce a fertile area anywhere. Like you can put it over here, a little length of levee down in a little area, and it will fertilize the entire area around it. Put it up a bit higher, you can move this water anywhere. All you need to do is just have a water tower or a irrigation tower nearby if you're folktales, but if you're actually the Iron Teeth, that is the only way that you can get water up onto higher areas without using the mechanical water pumps, which are very expensive for a power grid. Tip number 5. No, you do not have to only have one inventor. You can put in as many inventors as you like, and the research will stack for every beaver that is in these inventors. You can switch them on and off if you need extra beavers. But that is a good way to pump up your research very early in the game. Just have a whole bunch of inventors once you've got enough beavers, and you will start pumping out huge amounts of science. I've got 8,500 at the moment. I don't know what to spend it on. Skyscrapers. This is a very convenient way of getting lots of beaver housing in a very small area. The way that you do this is you have another level going up, and that's what this thing up here is for. This is your level thing. It will tell you what level you're on, and if you go down, it will take it down to the next level, and so on and so forth. And it will show you just how I've got this laid out. So around the outside, I have platforms from the base, and these are put over paths. Yes, beavers can pass under platforms to get to where they're going, so don't be worried about putting platforms over paths. But I've got this layered up, so I put a layer of platforms around the outside of my houses, put in another layer of houses, another layer of houses, another layer of houses, and you can stack this up so high it's ridiculous. People have entire skyscraper things going in this game, and it's really very convenient for keeping a lot of beavers in one small area, and you don't have to have houses spread out all over the place. Okay, tip number 7. This is how you get your power anywhere in the game. So I've got some power wheels over here that work when it's not drought time, and the power wheel goes out and up. This is what these extension things are used for. Across here and down, and my farmers can still get to the other side to do the farming if they really need to, and they do. So this is a good way of getting power anywhere you need it. And yes, by the way, these power things can go over the top of pathways. So if you're ever having trouble trying to get your beavers power where they need it, and you think, oh no, there's a pathway in the way, I can't get past it, well, yes you can, and that is how it's done, just like that. Tip number 8. No, this is not a natural channel in the game. If you take a look at the map, the original map for this game, this channel does not exist. How did I do this? Well, what I did was I got these things called explosives. It is a later game item, but it is something that you can use. And if you take a look at landscaping, you've got the explosive factory. This requires paper to produce the explosives, but once you have the explosives, what you do is you just put down a block of explosives. These guys will come over there and put it in a moment. Here we go. And you can put these all along in a line and cut channels to get water anywhere that you want it, as long as it will actually build up in an area enough to get over where you want it to go. And you can put your explosives in, and you just click on detonate. As soon as they have the explosives in, it will detonate all of the explosives that are next to each other, and you can use that as a very convenient way of cutting channels, such as this. And also this one over here. That way you can get water going to practically anywhere on the map, anywhere that you want it. And it's a very easy way of getting things around. But as I said, it is a late game item, so you won't have it straight away. Next things next that I would like to show you is that Beavers will build from the bottom of anything that you put down. So if there is, say, a platform stage here next to it, you can build below it. Even with dams and levees and whatever you want, you can actually put things below there. And look at this, they'll come along and they will still build that platform down there. And there you go. So they can build from a higher level or even a lower level, and they can build up. But there you go. That's how you build the things so that you can get to different levels of the map. The 10th and final thing I would like to talk about is the distribution posts and the distribution drop-off points. Now, as you can see, it says that you can add a new route, but you can only have 10 routes. Well, what if you need to send stuff more than 10 things to 10 different places? Well, you can actually put in more than one distribution post, and the beavers will have multiple distribution posts that you can send to different places. The next thing is that you can actually set limits at the drop-off points. So with these limits, you can say with the distribution limits, you can say only take this many to that destination. So we've got 30 carrots there. Whatever we're sending here, we're sending berries here, right? Well, we can set this and we can turn that down to 50, and it won't send any more. If there's 50 there, if there's a low amount, well, this is just, it's like an in and out sort of thing, you know? So this is the in. If you set that to 50, they will only send 50 to that destination. That way you won't get capped on your resources in a new area when you start in a new area, because you only have 300 capacity to start with, and until you get your storage units in, this is a very good way of managing what they actually send out there. And it can also mean that they don't send all of your wood and everything straight out to the new district straight away, so your main city will collapse. Alright, so I think that about covers it for the list of 10 things that you probably didn't know you could do in Timberborn. And if you enjoy these videos, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.